This is Drop Tent Media Network.
High IQ basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd. What's going on, bro?
I'm gonna go for like a quadruple double.
And welcome to another edition of High IQ Basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd. I'm, of course, Brian Isley. That's Raymond Byrd. We got Neil, and the Lakers won last night. Yo, hold on. Before we get into the Lakers game, you see Bron on the sideline with Jeannie?
Right?
That look, yeah. I remember I was telling you, Bron ain't getting no statue in LA. Yeah, he is.
Yo, Jeannie loves Bron.
She loves dude.
Like, you remember I said last episode, like when she gave out her top Laker, I think that she understands what he meant. You know, when Jeannie took over, it was come and fix the franchise. Y'all. I gotta take over for my brothers, y'all. It's a shit show. I gotta take it over. I gotta fix things.
Shout out to Jim Buss.
And she takes over, and her biggest accusation in regards to writing the shit was Bron deciding to come over. Bron comes over, and then Bron brings AD. That's not a Laker move. That's not the brand. That is, Bron's here. I want AD. That's AD gonna come over because he rock with me.
Mm-hmm.
You win the champ, like regardless of being in the play-in or whatever. The Lakers have been relevant. You know what I mean? The Lakers are what do we do? Ranked number 2 in regards to NBA team value.
Yes.
That has a lot to do with Bron coming in and the success they've had in regards, you know what I mean? Like that.
I think she understands that, bro.
They were always, the Lakers are the Lakers, but you know what I mean? Like you can get surpassed. You know what I mean? Golden State, whoever would have thought Golden State would be the most valuable NBA franchise? Well, what is it? The Knicks didn't Golden State. Who would have thought that
Lakers didn't Golden State? Yeah.
Golden State would be this high on the list.
But we'll get to the game, but with Golden State, it's going to drop as soon as Curry retires.
And that goes back to what I'm saying in regards to the Lakers are always going to be one of the most valued, but Bron being over there enhances their value and the success that they've had. I mean, the fact that you turn on any ESPN or FS1 or you watch any sports show, right? The Lakers are in the play-in and they talk about them like they're the number 1 seed, right?
So they talk about them all the time. They lead the shows with the Lakers.
The Lakers could miss the playoffs, and you're going to talk about the Lakers during the playoffs. When the season's over, Lakers win the championship or not, you're going to talk about the Lakers because you're intrigued, not because it's the Lakers, because LeBron is on the roster. That's why you're going to talk. LeBron's not there.
I agree with that.
You're not talking about the Lakers as much as you are. I think she understands what he has meant to the franchise in regards to resurrecting him.
And like she just loved the dude. Like she was all over him. Like damn.
I'm glad.
Damn, LeBang Bros. What's going on over here?
Give my boy some help in the offseason.
That's not happening. But anyway, D-Lo had 44. You said D-Lo looked like he was hunting Dame and in
the game was a couple like game winner. You know, you trying to get your best matchup to put you in the best position. They ran pick and roll to get Dame on D-Lo, and he got to his spot, floater ball game. Let's get up out of here.
Right. And man, D-Lo, and I was reading the comments because I woke up early this morning. I'm reading the comments on some of the highlights of the game. A lot of people saying, you see what happens when ball dominant players aren't on the floor. The ball gets shared more, pause. But that's stupid, bro. Like they're implying that the Lakers are a better team without LeBron. And that's just crazy. Like I love D-Lo. And of course D-Lo's gonna have more shots, more opportunities with LeBron being off the floor. But that ain't the solution all the time. He's going to have those nights with him off the floor. AD's going to have those nights. AD is up and down. We know that. But AD is going to have those nights too. Like, come on, man. To say that the Lakers are better without LeBron is just asinine. It's just crazy to me.
I figured they would say something like that.
Right.
D-Lo goes crazy, but it wasn't necessarily the ball being shared. It was one guy going crazy. D-Lo hit 9 3-pointers. He ain't going to hit 9 3-pointers every night. No. And we just saw a couple of days ago with Bron on the floor, D-Lo had an incredible game from behind the arc where he had a big game. So I don't think it's Bron being on the floor or off the floor is going to affect, what D'Lo does. I mean, like in any situation where you take one, if AD was out, all of a sudden Hachi's going to get more shots, Reeves is going to get more shots. You got one of your premier guys out. If they got any chance of doing anything in the postseason, it's going to have to do with LeBron James being on the court, not necessarily what D'Lo does.
It's got to be. It was a great stop for game.
It's crazy that the biggest Dinwiddie highlight since he's been a Laker has been a defensive stop. He has been a huge disappointment since we brought him over.
I never thought he was really like that. I thought he was getting opportunities and chances to score the ball on middling to below average to bad teams.
He got busy with the Nets.
You always say the lights are bright in LA. They're brighter. They're the brightest in LA. You always say that. And some players can't conform. Look at Beasley.
Beasley getting busy in Milwaukee.
Them lights ain't bright in Milwaukee. Look at Monk.
Monk played well with the Lakers.
He plays better when he's not in the Lakers.
Monk played well with the Lakers.
But he's playing better now.
Monk hoop with us.
But do you understand what I'm saying, though?
You're absolutely... It's not just the Lakers. It's Bron. You know what I mean? Like, you play with Bron, the lights is crazy. You know how people say, when you play the Lakers... Like, Dinwiddie had an interview one day, a few days ago, when he was saying that, I've noticed that, when you play for the Lakers, everybody's giving you their best shot. It's not so much the Lakers. It's Bron. And it's always been like that at all his stops. Like, Bron, when you play Bron, it's the lights. That's what it is. It's not so much if the Lakers are trash, the lights ain't bright down there. They regular lights. You put them high beams on when Bron on the court.
Well, I'm saying there's franchises that are great, that could be good at times, and still the lights ain't as bright.
You absolutely right. The Laker franchise brings a little something different. You know what I mean? It's the premier franchise in the league. It's like New York on par with that. When the Knicks are great, them lights is bright down there too, and everybody ain't built for that. Which I don't understand. I mean, like you use Beasley as an example. He looked like a completely different player. Like he's down there. He's leading the league, I think, in 3-point makes or 3-point percentage. One of the two, if not both. Like he's having a great season. Last year for us looked like he should have been out the league. We were devoid of 3-point shooting last year,
right? And
he couldn't get in the rotation.
He couldn't.
Isn't that crazy? Playoff rotation, he was out of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like now he look like, damn, we shouldn't have let him go. But then you got other players too that were under the bright lights of LA. They leave LA and they ain't really good when they leave LA either.
Listen, Dinwiddie looked like poop. I ain't gonna say he looked like poop. Just I don't know. Maybe I had higher expectations for him. Like he looked like a scorer, and this dude ain't scoring for us at all. And he's getting the minutes. He playing 20-25 minutes a game. Like last night, I think he had 5. That's what he's giving us, 4 or 5 a game. Like he's not giving us nothing. Like I thought he was gonna get buckets.
Yeah, a great stop though, and it was Dame time.
That was a great stop to close the space on the step back. But it was also, if you look at the play, like Reddish was in the way. Like one of the dudes, was it Connington or somebody, cut and brought Reddish in the way, so Dame couldn't turn the corner. You was only down 1. You had all the options. It wasn't necessarily you had to take a jumper. Once he got in the way,
he's taking that jumper.
He forced a step back.
He taking that jumper. That's what Dame do.
And you could have, in that situation, you could have drew a foul. He had a lot of options on that particular play. And I think the floor, that little bit of movement, bringing Reddish into the play, forced him into a step back. And Dinwiddie made a great play, closed that space and blocked that, John.
There's been a lot of, people associate clutch with hitting the game-winning shot, or like the last 2 minutes of the game, making the go-ahead baskets. But over the last couple days, there have been clutch defensive plays. Got that Anthony Edwards block where he hit his head on the backboard. You got Wemby blocking Chet for game. You got Dinwiddie blocking Dame. Where's all this lack of when it's time to get a stop? Cash is locking in So I don't understand all this. Still, people still complaining about lack of defense in the league. The NBA, as far as winning goes, when it's winning time, it's always been about timely stops. Ain't nobody shutting down nobody in the league.
I mean, I agree with you. We are seeing the timely stops, but you're naming some anomalies. Defense is still like the game was it 122, 121?
123, 122.
How we get 122 without Bron? You know what I mean? Like, yo, the defense overall in the league is definitely an issue, and I hope in the offseason that's something that they look to clean up a little bit.
Can I tell you something? You know one of the highest decades in offense ever is?
I know you about to say.
The era where everybody swears everybody played defense. The 1980s.
Right.
Where everybody was getting clobbered and clotheslined and power bombed and
90s
shit.
was the age of defense, though.
No, it wasn't, because they averaged 101 points per game.
90s was the age of good defense.
Was it? They were still averaging triple digits.
Think about it. Think about some of the best teams in the league. New York, Chicago. These were defensive-led teams. Big games when you in the 90s, high 80s. Go back and think of early 2000s NBA Finals, Detroit, San Antonio. Game 7 was, I think that was a game played in the high 80s.
Right.
For a chip.
The 2000s is the most defensive era.
I think 90s, early 2000s was good
2000s
defense.
by far is the best defensive era when we talk about points allowed per game. It's the 2000s, without question. It's not even close. The teams were averaging 96 points per game.
Well, I don't think we need to go back to that. I just think that we got to, like we spoke on the last episode, I just get away from rewarding the flopping. And that's not a rule change or anything like that. That is the referees calling the game by the book. And that's it. That's all. And I think that'll clean up everything.
And I agree with you. All I'm saying is the complaining is a bit hyperbolic. It's exaggerated. Because, we complain about these players not playing any defense. The average is 112 points per game. The average in the 80s, where everybody was locking up, it was 109.
I think you can definitely see the difference, though. I mean, like, the numbers are the numbers, right? So I can't argue what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
But just from watching the game, like, you watch Luka go get, Rand say, well, I watched Luka go get 70, and it was almost they was allowing him to get 70. They weren't necessarily allowing him to get it, but they were so scared to foul.
Rand's full of shit.
Nah, that was a fact, man. Like, you watch the game. Go back to the Harden.
I watched the whole game.
Harden era. The Harden era was you got guys guarding with it, but with your hands behind your back because you scared he's going to be able to manipulate the refs and to get a foul call. And that's not so much with Luka, but I'm afraid that when he goes to the rim, he's going to do something. He's going to, to initiate some contact. But he's going to end up at the free throw line. So now instead of getting 2 points, now he's at the free throw line getting 3. Like, that's what it is. It's the ability to manipulate the referees, and that's what's causing so much of this influx of points across the board for the league. Clean up the game, call the game the right way, and all that'll be fixed.
And you still going to see players get their head shot off because these players are just better.
Points. You're going to see points. These are, like, I agree with you. This is the most skilled era ever. I don't question anything. This is the best basketball athletes we've ever seen. But you take away the manipulation of the refs, all the BS calls and all that stuff, clean the game up on that aspect, you'll see a different game. You'll see defense start to come back into fold.
I disagree. We're heading into the second quarter. Your playoff pick ain't a playoff team. The Spurs have been officially eliminated from the playoffs. I know you've been of the mindset of maybe the Spurs need a new voice as a head coach, as a face of the organization, because that's what Pop is.
We spoke about it, right? Like, how many dubs can you give me? How many 20-win seasons can you give me before I decide? Like, yo, I'm not saying you fire him today. I'm gonna give you one more year. Wemby was a rookie. Next year, we're going to go into the offseason. We're going to try to put some pieces around it and make it work.
Yeah.
If we come out with another dub, move upstairs. Yeah, we ain't got fired. You just got to move upstairs. You know what I mean? You can't have Wemby if you win in 2025.
But you associate moving upstairs with getting. That's a nice way of getting fired.
In most cases, that's what it is. In most cases, very rarely are you on a Pat Riley thing where you are, I'm tired of coaching. I'm done coaching. I'm going to promote somebody, and I'm going to move upstairs to make the decisions on the roster, right? Mm-hmm. Most times it is, this is a way to respectfully moving on from you.
Well, Brad Stevens moved up.
That was, it worked out well because Danny Ainge's moving on. He took Danny Ainge's spot, but Brad lost the locker room. And it was time to move on. It was time to fire, promote. And it made sense in that particular instance.
That's crazy. Like that.
Brad lost the lock. You remember that situation? People were calling for his head when they got knocked off. They was calling for his head like, yo, we underachieved. We were supposed to get this thing done and then get it done.
Time, I thought Brad Stevens was probably the brightest mind in coaching.
That was a year or two prior. They was calling Brad Stevens maybe the best coach in the league.
Word.
A couple underachieving seasons, the next thing you know, you on the chopping block.
That's wild.
Brad was supposed to get fired. Him moving upstairs was, we taking care of you, and it's worked out. He went up there and did a great job.
It was genius. Outside the Ime Udoka fiasco, it's been genius. And that wasn't we gotta let you go because it was coaching. Gotta let you go because you out here wilding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Pop, man. First of all, you don't put no leash on Pop. You get one more year, man. That's Pop. Are you kidding me? I'm not doing that, Pop. You leave when you want to leave.
If we can move on from Bill Belichick, right? And we can move on from Bill. We can move on from Pop. Sometimes it's time. Like sometimes you get to a certain age where the game has passed you by, and it's time to go in a different direction. Get a younger mind in there that can relate to these players. Sometimes you got a Patriot way, right? A Bill Belichick Patriot way. Mm-hmm. That's dead. You know what I mean? Guys don't want to play for that no more. You ain't winning. It's time to move on. Spurs had kind of that same thing, right? The Spurs way. We quiet. We go in here. We hoop. Ain't nobody. And you know what I mean? Like you don't get a lot of that hoopla down there. They just hooping and getting it done. Might be time to go in a different direction. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe next year they have a great regular season, make playoffs, blah, blah, blah. But if you pull another dub 5, you gotta get up out of here.
My thing is, all right, okay. Let's say Pop time is up. Well, whose time is it?
And that's where your search,
because you gonna get that's a bad hand you're being dealt.
Why?
If Pop can't fix it, and he got Wemby, and what makes you think Joe Schmo gonna come in and fix it?
Pop is 80 years old.
Pop is a 5-time NBA champion.
Facts. Pop is 80 years old. Like, all right, at some point in time, we gonna have to find somebody else. You should have been grooming that in somebody else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has. Pop's coaching family tree is crazy. He could probably bring in one of them people, something like that. I get it, but that's still a tall task,
Pop
my boy.
is not supposed to see Wemby to the promised land. He's 80 years old. You're not. Pop is not going to be the coach that sees the Spurs turn back into the championship Spurs that we've known in the past when Tim Duncan was there with Wemby. That's not what he's 80 years old.
We got an 80-year-old goddamn president. We can have an 80-year-old NBA coach. But matter of fact, both the candidates that's running is 80 plus years old. Too old that they combine for $160. We can have an old NBA coach.
I ain't saying we can't. I think at this point you should be preparing for change. It shouldn't be, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? He's 80 years old. Like down there at Bama, right? The quarterback whatever his name is. The boy was like, I mean, y'all bugging. Like, yes, we a little bit shocked that Coach Saban decided to move on, but Coach Saban, 80 years old, he's supposed to be done.
Yo, I understand that. I get it. Meanwhile, if Paterno ain't have that situation, he would have coached until he died.
Listen, you're right, but his best days was well behind him. There was no more Penn State national championships coming.
And his best days wasn't all that great, considering what we found the hell out.
You tripping.
I'm just saying. Am I not speaking facts? Stop me when I stop telling the truth.
Yeah, all right, off topic, right? My boy Nick.
Yeah.
Nick was saying that he felt like Wemby right now is a top 10 player. And he brought some facts to the table, offensively, defensively, impact on the game in regards to wins and losses. And I disagreed. I was like, nah, top 10. I feel like top 10. You affecting winning. They down there they losing crazy. You know what I mean? A top 10 player in the league is going to affect winning. And he was like, yo, you take Wemby and swap him out with Gobert, Minnesota's going the favorites to win it all.
That's because Minnesota's already a number 1, number 2 seed.
I still disagree.
Hey, Nick, top 10 players don't get eliminated in March.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? The tournament, the NCAA tournament ain't even start yet. It's San Antonio season already over. That's great. Nah, Nick, I can't rock with that. And besides, who gonna take out the put Wemby in? If he is top 10, he's 10.
Listen, that's what he was. Listen, I disagree. I don't see it. I mean, I think the potential was obviously there, but to me, you got to win. And I'm not talking about winning a championship. I'm just talking about like you got to have some success in the league outside of your own. You have to lead top 10 players lead to team success.
Right. Okay. All right. 2003, 2004, Bron, Melo, D Wade, Bosh, all rookies, top 5 picks. Melo makes the playoffs. Wade makes the playoffs. I don't think Bosh making it, and Bron missed it. Are any of those 4 players top 10 in the league at that time?
At that time, I had to go back and really look at it, but I would assume not. I mean, Bron, but I get what you're saying in regards to when he made the playoffs, like, and Bron didn't, right?
You can't say Melo better than Bron because the Nuggets made the playoffs and Cleveland didn't.
Kind of what you get drafted into. Bron got drafted into a complete rebuild from top to bottom, outside of himself. Like when they finally became a good team, everything else that was on that roster was gone. You know what I mean? Melo found himself into a solid situation because he got drafted a little bit later than Bron.
Right. Well, what? So you wouldn't call Melo a top 10 player in his rookie year?
No.
And you wouldn't call Wade a top 10 player in his rookie year?
Facts.
So
all right, here's a question. I've been hearing a lot about rookie of the year, and right now is heavy Wemby over Chet. How you feel about that? I'm like, yo, you want a horrible team. Chet is about to play in some real. He playing at much higher leverage games.
I think the stats of Wemby should be factored in. I think the stats of Chet and the fact that he's helping his team win be factored in. And I would have to give the edge to Chet. I don't have a vote. I think Wemby's going to win out, but I would disagree with it.
Right, because I feel like when you're playing a high leverage game, like Wemby's on a team where when you go out here and you like when he has his nights when like, oh, he's the first rookie to get 21 and 10 blocks and 10 rebounds. Like, all right, y'all lost by a dub.
Y'all got dubbed up.
Yo, how many those
don't impact.
Those stats weren't doing high leverage moments.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Ball game's over. Who's on the floor when that happened?
I'm not gonna say all that. I don't think he's stat padding or anything.
I ain't saying padding. I'm just saying like the moments matter. You know what I mean? We playing for a playoff seeding. We're playing for you know what I mean? So when we playing teams like we really getting after it.
Yeah.
Teams are playing y'all. It's the Spurs. Y'all trash. We ain't gotta go hard. We know eventually y'all gonna crumble and we gonna win. You're a bad team.
all right. So OKC. And I hate playing the if game. OKC is what, number 2, number 1 right now. You swap out Chet for Wemby.
I don't know.
Nah, you don't know?
I don't know. They kind of to me they kind of the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. So will OKC be where they at?
I believe so. I believe you got the same. I think they the same player. Obviously, at some point in time, someone's going to separate themselves.
Yeah.
And Wemby's in it. You also got to take into consideration Wemby's on a team where he's the one. Chet's on a team where he's not the one.
He's not.
You got a good basketball team. You got a superstar on your team, an MVP candidate, right?
Yeah.
And you got other quality pieces around you. So it's not just, oh, we got Chet. Everything is going through Wemby. Chet is on a good basketball team.
Right. Agreed.
So that plays a part in
so does
what
he
your
take
numbers
a
look
knock
like
for that?
I guess it's both sides, right?
Both sides, like I said.
One side is like, you got this superstar next to you. I gotta be the superstar. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
All right, well, that's why you were the number 1 overall pick, my boy. Be the superstar. You can't be the superstar and be like, I want Rookie of the Year when you just got the dub 5.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey.
But they don't typically take that into account. Like you said, the year when Melo went to the playoffs, Bron won Rookie of the Year.
One Rookie of the Year. Melo thinks he got robbed.
He got a legit argument.
I believe so.
Numbers was close. They both averaged like a dub.
I think Melo has 2 legit gripes that year.
What?
Probably should have won Rookie of the Year, number 1. And number 2, damn, you should have been the 2nd overall pick and you should have a ring.
Who knows how that plays out?
I'm just saying if it does play out the same way for the sake of argument. We don't know if it'll
Detroit
play
won the
out
chip
that
that
way.
year?
Detroit won the chip 03-04. Beat the Lakers 4-1 in the finals. You know I remember that shit.
Who knows? He might have still been on the bench.
Might have been because Larry Brown didn't play rookies.
And you get to these high leverage, I'm pretty sure you still trusting Prince over him.
And he would still have a ring. You imagine Melo coming off the bench for the Pistons as the 6th man?
Right.
That'd be unfair, bro. I'm glad it didn't happen. We are headed into halftime. This is High IQ Basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd. We'll be back after these messages from our sponsor. This is halftime, and halftime is sponsored by If You Know, You Know Trivia Games. This is a trivia game created by a great friend of mine and friend to the show, Saquon Gillette. If You Know, You Know is a 90s to 2020s hip-hop and R&B trivia game. Is created by Saquon Gillette. As I said, it's Star Corner Production, Star Corner Games, and it's the game you never knew you needed. Guaranteed to have you singing, dancing, laughing, and reminiscing. You'll probably learn something too in the most fun way ever. It's for ages 13 and up. Because with hip hop we have explicit lyrics. But yeah, if you know trivia game, get it on Amazon and wherever games are sold. That is our halftime sponsor. And we are back. This is High IQ Basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd. We are headed into quarter number 3, and Cat is out, torn meniscus. How does that affect the Minnesota Timberwolves going forward?
I think it takes, if he's not coming back, I don't think they gave any kind of word on when they expect him to come back.
Said they'll reevaluate him in 3-4 weeks.
If it's one of them, if he needs surgery and he's out for any extended time, I'm talking about missing first round or anything like that, they're done.
Ooh,
because I think home? They're going home early. Just because what Cat brings to the table is like they got the 2 bigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure when you get in the playoffs, there's going to be times where they're taking Gobert off the floor and they're moving Cat to the 5,
right? Or
they're bringing Nas off the bench and running both bigs that can both shoot the basketball and still stretch the floor. It's not, condensing the floor. So if Cat is out, now you just got Gobert and you got Nas coming on the bench. Nas went crazy the other game.
He did,
but Nas is not the defender that Gobert is.
No.
He doesn't have the size.
No.
So Cat brings that element of we can still be big, but still be able to space the floor. You got to have the floor spacing, and if they're forced to be without him going to the playoffs, like this, you talking about your second best player. I think if you go to any team in the league and they lose their second best player at this point in the year, you would assume they're out the mix. Clippers lose Paul George or Kawhi, they're out the mix. You know what I mean? KD or Book go out, you're out the mix. Mm-hmm. And that's just what it is. So if he's out any extended time, I already thought they were ideal matchup for one of these dogs at the bottom of the standings, Golden State or the Lakers or one of them were to get in at this play-in, and you get Minnesota. I thought that's a matchup made for them to get knocked off. Now without Cat, it definitely is. I'll be interested to see. They got the Lakers coming up.
Yeah.
I want to see what that look like without Cat.
You make some very compelling points. I think they are in trouble, but I also think this is time for Ant to really step up and be that guy.
I'm gonna sound crazy. I think people gassing Ant up crazy.
Wow, you do sound crazy.
I think Ant can play.
You do sound
I think Ant can play, but the way they be talking about Ant reminds me of a young Mike. And,
I don't say all that.
Man, this dude ain't proved nothing yet.
They do call him son of Mike.
He hasn't proved anything.
That's because he resembles him. He kind of looks like him.
Listen, he can play. I'm not saying he's not a good player, all-star caliber player. He hasn't proven anything yet.
Not a thing.
I ain't stamping him yet. He ain't stamped by me yet.
Wait, stamp as what? Legit?
I'm not talking about get a championship. I'm talking about you got to have some success in the postseason. Regular season numbers are great, right?
Yeah.
You get stamped when you go in the playoffs and you get busy and you get it done. I'm not talking about having to bring hardware home. I'm talking about you having success where you're winning around, progressing in the playoffs. He hasn't done that yet.
That's what I'm saying.
We talking about, we stamping him, young Mike and all that. Not necessarily you, but just people in general. I like Ant.
Ant, my guy.
But I'm not. I ain't completely sold yet.
Ant, my guy, that dude's special. And I think that with Cat being out, I think this is you saying prove yourself, right? Prove that you that guy. Prove that you deserve that stamp. Cause let's keep it real, a lot of players get premature stamps. They get stamped prematurely, and some of them live up to it. One of them exceeded it, and most fall to the wayside. They crumble under the pressure of those expectations. I think Ant is one of those guys who's going to seize the moment, and he's going to have one of them playoff moments where he gets busy, goes off. I think he's that type of guy. He definitely got a dog mentality. He ain't backing down from nobody, and he got the skill set to cook everybody. So I think this is his shot to do it. But it does kind of remind me now, like you said, Gobert is the single big out there now. So you kind of look like Utah.
Very much like Utah.
You kind of look like Utah when they had Gobert and Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
And that's only going to get you but so far. And there was times where Mitchell was going crazy. And it still didn't get him
crazy.
It still didn't get him far. So I do see your point. There is a ceiling now. There's a crazy ceiling, and people thought even at full strength there was a ceiling. People thought there was fool's gold. They may get knocked out in the first round depending on what kind of matchup they end up with. But I think Ant is legit, and I think Ant gonna have a coming out party in the playoffs.
I've seen Ant. I mean, all right, you say this is an opportunity to seize the moment, right? I'm not going to judge him by one game, but I'm going to say right after Cat goes out, they go play a game, and Ant struggles. I think Ant was like 5 for 20. Nas went crazy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they got I want to say they got the dub because of that. I've seen Ant in the playoffs get busy, and I've seen Ant score 15 in playoff games. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think he's a good, really good young player, and he has unlimited potential, but I don't see special.
Damn.
I don't see special. I mean, maybe our definition of special is different. When I say special, I'm talking about KD at 6'10", that's special. Bron specials. Things that special is I ain't seen nothing like that. Like, you know what I mean, that's special. He's going to be a good NBA basketball player.
You're talking about you
saying special. Special is Doncic has had special moments. He hasn't come close to having moments like that yet. Mm-hmm. And he's been in the postseason, and maybe this is the year. They got a high seed, number 1 seed, blah blah blah. But I haven't seen Ant do nothing special yet. When the lights come on, damn, that's why you get stamped.
There's special, and then there's one of ones. You name one of ones. KD is a one of one, a 6'10" shooting guard. Bron is the ultimate Swiss Army knife. Can do everything. 6'9", 250. Like that.
Special though. Who's special? If Ant is special, Book is special. I don't think none of those guys are special. I think they're good NBA players, all league type dudes. Special is reserved for guys that you would never going to forget when you talk about NBA basketball.
I think special is a couple tiers below one of one. Like Shaq is a one of one. We never gonna see that again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Ant's special, who else is special?
But Kobe was special. But we saw Mike, so you can't call Kobe a one of one. Kobe was special.
He was definitely special. Ant ain't that. Ant ain't got Kobe potential.
But you understand what I'm
Ant got at? Kobe potential?
I'm not saying
Hell
Ant has
no.
Kobe potential, but Ant.
It's Ant. Do you think Ant is going to be better than Book?
He could be.
I think they're on the same. Same tier. I think right now I would take Book over Ant
because Book more seasoned.
Facts, but I'm just saying right now, forget season, what they've done in the past. Right now, today, if I got to take one of them going to a playoff series, I'm taking Book.
Why?
Because I think Book is a guaranteed. Lights on, Book is going to give me 30.
Because why? Because you've seen it. Because he's seasoned. He's been there before. Like, he ain't really have a shot yet. He's
had a shot.
Once he gets, and Books has had shots too, and I've seen Book get smoked.
I seen Book be the number one on the team that went to the NBA Finals too. That's you stamped. He stamped.
Luka and the Matt, they own Phoenix.
Facts. I mean, Luka gonna own a lot of motherfuckers in the league.
Facts, because Luka is special.
Yes, I agree with that. I don't think Ant on that in that.
You ain't agree. Listen, bro. You gonna start agreeing with me from the starting line, not when not when we about to cross the finish. I told you Luka was special. No, I don't see it. I'm telling you, Ant is special. No, I don't see it. You gonna see it.
So would you change your mind if they got in the playoffs and they got knocked out in the first round?
No, because he's only 22 years old and he got 15 more years in the league.
Yes, I'm just saying your right now assessment, would it be different?
My assessments are never right now. You should know me by now. My assessments are, oh shit, I see the potential. Let me call Byrd up and tell him this guy gonna be the next one.
6'5" off guard just doesn't scream special to me.
But he has special talent.
I've seen I've seen this many times in the league. It's splattered throughout the league. You know what I mean? It's a lot of dudes with the same skill set. Donovan Mitchell, a little bit shorter, is the same skill set. Donovan might be a little bit more explosive in regards to his ability to give you 40, 50 on any given night.
Just because there's more than a few doesn't mean it's not special. It could be more than one special player.
See, that's when we just throwing labels out. We not.
Just
tossing labels out because if he's special, Book is special, Donovan Mitchell is special. Who's not special?
Yeah,
then?
They stars in the NBA. Yeah, they special. Yeah, they special. Like you're the top for you is special. The top for me is one of one.
I think Bron is special. I think it's guys that I think are special who aren't champions or all-time greats. I just don't feel like he's special.
The top for me is one of one.
You gotta earn that shit.
It don't get no higher than one of one. What we'll never see again. Special, you gonna get a lot of special.
You get a lot of good.
Get a lot of special, bro.
Get a lot of good.
And you get a whole bunch of good. everybody in the NBA is good, or they wouldn't be in the NBA. There's good, there's great, there's special. One of one. Those are my tiers.
Book special?
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell special?
Yup. I seen Donovan Mitchell score 71 points in a game.
Well, that's a lot of special about this motherfucker.
It is.
Everybody.
It ain't a lot of one-on-ones, though.
Every team in the league got special then.
It's the NBA, yes.
The motherfuckers ain't special.
Yes, of course. There's 400 players in the NBA.
So what's Doncic then? What's Joker?
Your Joker might damn near be a one of one. We ain't never seen no shit like that.
So is Doncic special or is he 101?
We've seen 6'8" point guards.
So what is he, special?
He's special.
Is it different tiers of special?
It's one of one, and then they're special.
All right, so Doncic can't be special and ain't special because Doncic is this.
They don't even play the same position.
I'm not even talking about I'm not comparing the position. I'm just talking about the player. Doncic is better.
Doncic is better.
So they both special though?
It could be two players that's special, but one is a little bit better than the other.
It's a different tiers of special?
Yeah. Yup. You're not gonna move me off my square. You're not gonna move me off my square.
Is Moran special? Who not special?
You tripping if you don't think Moran is not special.
God damn, everybody's special.
Not everybody.
SGA specials, Chet special, Wemby's who not special?
They in the NBA.
Is
they
Cat
all
special? Cat special too?
You're not getting what I'm saying. It's the NBA. It's 400 motherfuckers in the NBA, and that's it.
We're not talking about the world. We're talking about NBA players. That's what we're doing.
That matters.
NBA players. We're talking about NBA players, and they're special.
That matters. It's 8 billion people in the world.
They're good,
and 400 players are in this league. Yes, they're special. Yes,
I agree with that. To make it to the league, you have to be special. I agree with that. But we're talking about just the pool of NBA player. We're not talking about Joe Schmo at Sporta. We're talking about the pool of NBA players. That's what we're talking about. And I didn't say they weren't special because they got there. I'm saying he's a good NBA player. You earn special. You stamping him. And I feel like he don't deserve to be stamped yet.
Yeah. Because
your guidelines, everybody stamped already.
I'm like Dame Dash. I see it before it happens.
Everybody stamped already.
I'm Dame.
Who ain't stamped?
I see it. And I'll tell you.
Everything Wagyu.
I tell you.
You feel me? It's 70-30.
And you
it's 70-30 in your eyes is Wagyu.
And then 5 years later, we'll have this conversation. I guarantee you we'll have this conversation 5 years from now. Yeah, B, you was right.
When he home,
you was right.
When the tournament's still going on, and he home.
We gonna have this conversation.
I can't count. I know. These points don't count. The buzzer's already done. So I laughed at Ray's joke. That was funny, and now I can't add the points. You're all tied up.
Fine. You can't add the points.
I can't add the points. It's after the shot. I don't know what to do now.
Punches after the bell.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little.
Keep going.
We've been friends forever. Every time, every so and now, I'll see a player. I'll see a player and be like, "Oh, that guy's the shit," and I'll tell him, and he'll argue me down, saying, "Nah, I just don't see."
You've been right sometimes. You've been wrong.
I've been right all the time.
We just had an episode where I was like, "Yo, B, I forget who we was talking about." I was like, "You was wrong."
I'm right all the time when it comes to picking
fourth quarter
superstars.
Fourth quarter.
Nah.
Fourth quarter. Come on, let's start the fourth quarter, bro.
Now you want to start the fourth quarter. Okay, it's fine. It's cool. I'm right. We had into the fourth quarter, and we had this conversation a couple days ago. I don't know what led to it. But we were talking about Kobe. We were talking about if Kobe was top 5, top 10. Greatest of all time, whatever the conversation was, and the question came about: is Kobe's legacy enhanced by his untimely passing?
First of all, let me start off by saying Kobe Bryant is an incredible basketball player, one of the greatest who ever played. Like, if you take everybody who's ever played in the league, and we're at Sporta, and I got captain, you got captain, and Mike, Bron, all the greats is in the gym, it's not crazy for you to take Kobe number 1. Kobe was a dog. Kobe is as good skill-wise as we has ever seen, and you put him on the opposite side of anybody, and Kobe could win that one-on-one matchup. So I want to start there.
With your disclaimer before you say some wild shit.
His death has definitely enhanced
Jesus.
his legacy. It definitely has. Like there was a time before Kobe passed away, it was arguable, was Kobe top 10? That was an argument. That was a real argument. The argument now is, does he deserve to be in the GOAT conversation? That's the argument that people are having now. Is Kobe the greatest basketball player to ever live? Versus when he was alive, was he top 10? And it happens. It's not a knock on Kobe. Just when Tupac passed, all of a sudden Tupac was top 3, if not the GOAT rapper of all time. In my opinion, that's not true. You know what I mean? So...
Boy,
listen, I'm just my personal opinion. Nobody go crazy in the comments.
That's, go crazy.
That's just my personal opinion. Kobe is incredible. You know what I mean? One of the best we've ever seen. You talking about accepting challenges, putting the work in. Can't knock dude for anything he did on the basketball court. But when he passed away, all of a sudden, players all of a sudden, oh my gosh, Kobe, I love Kobe. He's the GOAT. I model my game after him. Mamba mentality. A lot of that stuff kind of started after he passed, right? All that, I mean, not for everybody, but some people jumped on that bandwagon because he passed. Like you want to pay your respects, on and so forth. And I truly feel like that's where his bump came from that.
Okay. You didn't go too crazy. I respect everything you said, and you've been saying it for a while. That's just not something you just came up with. You've been saying that for a minute, for a couple years now. Kobe, Kobe is my favorite player, and if I wasn't an objective basketball fan, I would have no problem saying that Kobe is the greatest basketball player we've ever seen, because we both have eyes. We could see, it's a thing called the eye test. And when you look at Kobe Bryant, there's no player that's ever stepped on the basketball court who is more skilled offensively. And I think Kobe, even on the defensive end, Kobe gets forgotten. Kobe is a 9-time All-NBA first-team defensive player. He was great on both ends of the floor, and he was the doggest of all dogs. Like, Kobe wanted smoke from day one, fresh off the prom. Kobe was that guy. I love Kobe, man. It still hurts that he's gone, but myself personally, I get what you're saying about his legacy being enhanced, and like you said, that happens all the time in death, unless you was out here wilding and you pass away and people don't have a good word to say about you. But Kobe was always in my top 5. Even before he passed, and he's 5 though, because
so who's out?
Huh?
Who's out? Who's
nobody?
the 5?
Nobody was ever out.
Who's the 5?
Kobe is Bron, Mike, Kareem, Magic, and Kobe. But I don't have any problem with anybody having Kobe outside of the top 5. And here's why. Those first 4 that I mentioned, all multiple time MVPs. Kobe's the only person in the top 5, in my top 5, that only has 1. So it's kind of hard when you start talking about the accolades and all that stuff, because Kobe doesn't really match up with the top 5 accolades wise. Now the bottom 5 in the top 10, yeah, you could throw him in there, because there's a lot of 1 MVPs in the bottom 5, but there's some multiple MVPs in the bottom 5 as well. So if you have Kobe in your top 10, get no argument from me. If you have Kobe in your top 5, you get all kinds of love from me. If you have Kobe outside of your top 10, we have a problem.
Kobe's definitely a top 10 player. And like I said, you know what I mean? If I got a team and you got Mike and I got Kobe, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And some people believe Mike, if you believe Mike is the GOAT, I could win that matchup. Kobe was truly like that. Truly like that. No question. Like he can match up with anybody and win his matchup. You know what I mean? He had that type of ball game and he would target that matchup. He ain't shying away. He not, Bron's over here and somebody else guarding him. When it's time to go win, I'll deal with it. Yeah. And I'll take the wins and losses gonna fall on me. If I couldn't handle them, we gonna lose. So on and so forth, right? Right. But I don't think he's top 5. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like you said, the eye test is one thing, right? Mm-hmm. There are some great eye test guys like T-Mac. You know, T-Mac is my guy. Skill wise, T-Mac was incredible. He was on par with Kobe at his peak in regards to both of them in the league at the same time. Mac was as good as Kobe, if not better.
Say what you was really saying back then. Don't hedge
Mac
it
was
now.
Better. Mac was better.
Say T-Mac was better than
Mac was better. You know what I mean? It sounds crazy now because, you know, their trajectory on their careers is polar opposites, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Kobe had a much better overall career, but in that moment, like Mac was a better basketball player. And eye test, right? You could look at the eye test and say, yo, Mac is great. You put them all dudes in the league and you picking the guy, you're not crazy. If top 10, you taking Mac. Mac can match up with anybody. Mm-hmm. But the accolades and the resume really come into play, right?
Yeah, they do. They have
saying
to.
Top 5, dude during his same era, Tim Duncan got 5 chips, multiple MVPs. Agreed. All leagues. He was an incredible defensive player as well. Like you read his resume, you read Kobe's resume, it don't add up. You know what I mean? And Tim was getting chips on your watch, going through you to go get them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I don't got him in my top 5, but like I said, it's like you said, it's not crazy for someone to do. Like you said, Kobe was as good as you talent wise as you can find,
as you can get. Kobe was as good as it gets, and the thing I love about Kobe is like there is no what if. There is no what if Kobe maximized his potential, or what if Kobe stayed. You know exactly what Kobe Bryant is and what he was going to be, because that's exactly what he became. There's no, it didn't get any better. He couldn't have got any better than what he was.
Listen, that's probably the biggest compliment you can give a player, is that your max potential, you reached it because you put the work in. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Bron's one of those guys, Kobe's one of those guys, Mike is one of those guys, the type of guys where I put the work in. My goal was to be the best version of me, and I achieved that for as long as I possibly could because I put the work in and I worked on my craft. And there's other guys like you, the Shaqs, where you got the what ifs, like, yo, Shaq, you should be the GOAT hands down, no but question. You just didn't you still accomplished great things, but you ain't put the work in. Because if you had put the work in like those guys, we wouldn't be having a Bron, Kobe, Mike discussion. It would be you hands down. So I think that's an incredible compliment when you could tell somebody that, yo, you reached your height because you put the work in. Like, I don't have no question about what you could have been.
What you could have been.
Because you were everything you could have been because you put the work in.
Right, exactly. And then you have players like Vince Carter,
who had maybe more talent than Kobe,
but didn't maximize it. There is a what if there. It's definitely a what if there. Who's your top 5? You asked me who my top 5 was. Who's your top 5?
Yeah, I got Bron number 1, Mike, Kareem, Magic. Mm-hmm. And it's hard. It's that the hard thing is, like, when you talk about bigs, right? You don't never think of big. It's hard when you say bigs versus guards, right?
They have their whole section, right?
Like, guards is more attractive. Like, even right now, like, you don't want to say the best player in the league is Joker because he's a big. You want to go with a perimeter player, somebody who's starting from the outside, get the high flying dunks and all that stuff. Like, it has to be visually appealing as part of being that guy.
Okay,
but
yeah.
Joker probably is the best player in the league. You know what I mean? But my 5, I'm going with the guy we just said who didn't maximize. I'm going with Shaq. I know Tim got a better resume, but I seen Shaq dominate him and Dave at the same time.
Eye test. And that's when David Robinson was still a problem on both ends of the floor.
And you had less responsibility. You know what I mean? So you can concentrate on being defensive player of the year, blah, 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 because you got Timmy next to you. And I seen Shaq eat both of y'all alive.
That's why we talk about eye tests and we talking about bigs. Where do you rank Hakeem? Because if we saying eye tests, I think eye test wise, Hakeem was better than all of them, skill wise.
But I mean, like we discussed episodes before. I mean, the ultimate skill is to put the ball in the hole. How you go about doing it is one thing, but the skill is to put the ball in the hole.
Right.
If I'm taking somebody, if I got and they matched up. That's where I kind of lose my argument. They matched up, and Elijah won the matchup. But I think Shaq, at his peak, I don't think nobody at that position could deal with him. Nobody. And I think that if you were to dump him in today's league, what do you do? What do you do with this monster that we're never going to see one of those again?
One of one.
You're never going to see a 7-foot, 300-pound dude who runs the floor like he does, jumps out the building like he did, and had a mean streak. You're never basketball players aren't built like that no more. You're gonna see Wemby's and Durant's. You're not gonna see that no more.
Thank the basketball guys for that. We'll never see that again because we're not supposed to. It was supposed to be a 101. The messed up thing is that he didn't maximize it. Now it sounds like nitpicking and hating. I probably tell him.
That's crazy. But go ahead.
We went a while without that shit. Welcome back.
And again, after the buzzer. This is
so it don't count. It don't
count. Ray was
out here like this, and the clock ran out, my boy. What you talking about?
Yeah.
All right, so with that, I guess that was the alarm to go into OT.
Right.
We'll head into OT. I saw this wild thing on the internet, on social media. It was this young lady who went on a date, went to a basketball game, and left the guy high and dry because she found out she was in the bleeds for the night.
I'm gonna go in on that. I'm gonna tell a story.
Okay.
So, me and my wife, right? This is beginning our relationship. I think we just around the time we just had my son, right? We lived together. I think we were married. I think we were married at the time. You know, Mac, my guy. You always know that. Mac's my guy.
Yeah.
This is when Mac was in Houston. Houston's playing Philly. My birthday comes up. My wife grabs me tickets to go to the Sixers Houston game, right? Listen, I appreciated the gift, right? You got me, you paying attention to me. You know, I like to, Mac is my guy.
Yeah,
you got to really be paying attention to me to know Mac, my guy, right? Word. Tickets was in the bleeds. And I'm like, yo, I appreciate these tickets. I appreciate the thought behind it, but I can't go to this, John, because I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there to enjoy the game. I'd rather sit at home and watch the game than to be sitting all the way up top with it. You know what I mean? So much appreciated. So I say that to say, my boy, you was at a Detroit Pistons game. They're horrible.
They cheap off top.
They wild cheap. You could have got some lower level joints and probably spent the hundo between both tickets. With
True.
Taxes, you might have been at 120, 130.
Word.
You're like, yo, like, first date, you got to be lower level. You got to be, first date with a female. I'm taking you to a ball game. That's a stretch. I'm taking you to a ball game, and maybe she established that if she didn't establish that she don't like sports like that, that means you taking her because you trying to stunt. Like, that's a high profile date. I'm taking you to the game. Like, you know what I mean? How we going on? We can't be on the third level, B.
Listen.
We can't be on the third level if I'm taking, our first date is at the ball game. Mistake made by him.
No escalators on the first date.
Yo, we can't be third at a Pistons game.
No escalators.
First of all,
bro?
who wants to go to a Pistons game? If I live in Detroit, I'm not going to no Pistons game.
I'm going to the Pistons game if I live in Detroit.
But
go ahead.
Nah, I'm lower level. Some lower level Pistons games gotta be like $60-$70. Yeah, I ain't saying we gotta be on the floor. We ain't gotta be on the floor. You know what I mean? Floor seats still floor seats. Mm-hmm. But we gonna be lower level. We gonna be lower level, B. I mean, like that's a mistake on his part. I can't even believe me mad at her.
I wanna argue with you. I do. Because I'm frugal. But I agree. I agree 100%. First date, you say you want to take her out to a game, you gotta show some type of effort, bro. Like what are y'all gonna do in the bleeds? Talk? Like what are you going? You could have went to dinner for that. You know what I'm saying?
You could have saved your.
Because you damn sure ain't gonna see the game. Not gonna see the game in the bleeds. You got to do better, man. That's a mistake that hopefully you don't repeat again. Now, but with that mistake, there's ways to go about the mistake. Like I'm not even saying that the give you receive was a mistake. It's a thought that counts. You're all about the thought. Thank you for thinking of me. Right. And thank you for paying attention to detail, seeing what I like, and getting me something that I can actually enjoy. Thank you very much. I'm sure that was very much appreciated by
Facts.
So like I get that part of it, but she could have, and you handled it very well. You said thank you, love you, all that stuff, thank you, but nah, cause these jaws is bleeds.
Listen, she to this day throws that in my face.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Okay.
To this day, like you remember I got them joints and you ain't appreciate that joint.
But you did though.
I did, but still, you ain't go and you ain't go.
She watched this. He did. From what he told me, he appreciated it, but she didn't.
Yeah. Should we watch a little bit?
Go ahead.
I know. Yeah. So, let's cut over to it, and everyone should be able to see that. Let's see.
No shade, no tea, but y'all, tell me why somebody invited me on a date, right? So I done did my makeup, put my outfit on. They said we going to a basketball game. Let me show y'all where the fuck they got me sitting there. I done left their ass. I'm sitting in a whole nother seat because I don't even give a fuck. Like, why would you even play with me like that? Y'all, do y'all see how high I am? Okay.
Yeah, she's
And
asking
they keep
about.
texting my phone talking about where you at, where you at. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I'm finna find me another date. These motherfuckers finna play musical chairs, dog. I'm finna just make this the best out this shit, y'all.
Because the guys in the studio can't hear it while we're listening to it. But yeah, she's not enthused. She's making fun of the fact that they're playing musical chairs on the court, and she keeps cutting back to how high up she is. And yeah,
very high up.
You can join us on the. I'll bring it up big, but yeah, you can join.
Wow, empty seats.
It was crazy.
It was
all of this section.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like this entire area here across the court is wide open. It's nuts that he. Yeah.
First date.
It's like,
like yo. I'll take you. Yo,
would you spend $15, dude? On the
yo, we had a playoff game. We could be up that high. You know what I mean? Yo, you a real fan? We could be up that high. It's a playoff game. We still in the building. Yeah. A regular season Detroit Pistons game? You wildin', my boy. Like, you had to know that wasn't gonna go well.
Yeah. She could have went about it a different way.
She ain't had the plane sitting right next to him, making her little video. But I ain't mad at her for leaving. I ain't mad at her for not being off that.
Not mad at her for leaving, but damn, you gotta do all that. You gotta do all that, man. Like, come on, man. I don't like that stuff.
Dub, he gotta be smarter than that.
Don't do that. See, I'm a champion for men anyway, because we get shitted on, we get bashed all the time. So, like, when I see stuff like that, yes, the Bull made a mistake. We're going to make mistakes. We are going to make mistakes. We're going to mess up. Please don't compound it. I'm sure he felt bad. I'm sure he felt bad because I know she said something to him before she even went to TikTok or went live or whatever.
You got common sense.
Yeah.
Neil.
Yep.
You got common sense, right?
Yep.
I meet a nice looking girl. Our first date is, yo, don't take her to a game. If you can't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure them, like I said, them lower level of joints, Pistons game is wild cheap anyway. But don't take her to a game. Take her to the movies then. If you only got $15, $20, go take her to the movies.
If you got $15, $20, stay home.
Yo, I'm just saying.
Don't even ask. Don't ask her out. If you under $100, don't take her out. Period. Wait till you get your shit stacked up.
He set himself up for that. Like, yo, like could you imagine your first date with any John? You pull up at a ball game and y'all walking.
We going upstairs.
Up top.
Going upstairs is crazy.
Be y'all walking up top. Come on, man. And it's not a playoff game. It's not the Super Bowl. It's not a final. Like, well, we a regular season trash team. Nah, you wilding. He asked for that. Like, he ain't. Nah, you gotta have common sense.
He didn't ask to get.
You gotta have common sense.
On. You gotta have common sense. He made a mistake.
I think he in the 200. I think he in them top them 200s, B.
I think he in 214.
You know, I had to look up what the prices were.
$46.
So it's $46 for.
That's a little high for them joints.
I'm sorry, $46 for bleeds.
I'm surprised as well. Yeah, here, let me show everybody so they can see what we're looking at.
Neil pulled up the seating chart.
I'm surprised there's some. I mean, like, I would have definitely probably put. Yeah, I would have been somewhere like 115 around the edge, like
40 something. That means you spent like 80.
You spent over
taxes,
$100.
You had 100.
Right.
Parking another dub. You should have went and grabbed a bite. Went to Applebee's or something. Like,
what? So she could go live again? No. Are you kidding me?
Like, yo, that's not thought out. You ain't think that through.
Yo, you know what's wild? Yo, they closing like 46 Applebee's.
Cause they ass.
And Lover said, "Damn, you uppity bitches." Domestic game up for everybody. Y'all don't mess with Applebee's no more. I guess because you got your stinking BBL. That y'all don't like Applebee's anymore, man. That's crazy. No, don't take her to Applebee's neither. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. 2 for $25 is dead.
I'm just saying, you gotta do your homework, and you meet a nice looking joint. You can't be in the bleeds. That's just it's never gonna be acceptable. You gonna look crazy. Whatever she thought of you, it automatically changed at that moment.
You're not gonna look anything if the joint don't go live. I mean, you handle it and you move on. Like, if you will never talk to the boy again, all right, cool. But damn, to just shit on him and now ain't nobody gonna want to talk to him. That's crazy.
I wonder, did she stay for the whole game or did
she leaves in the video.
Oh,
you can see her walking out. Yeah,
she was disgusted.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
That's bad, yo.
You set yourself up for that, man. I don't feel sorry for him. That's on you gotta do your homework.
He messed up. I agree with you 100%. That was a bad move, my boy. But I do feel sorry for him because now he don't get a second chance to make it right. Cause ain't nobody gonna mess with him.
Baseball.
Man, we ain't see him.
You don't go to good. Yeah, we didn't see him. I don't think they showed. Also,
trust and believe. Trust and believe. Man. She gonna continue. She gonna spread the word. It don't stop here.
Yeah.
Listen, lower your caliber. You gotta lower. It's females that's cool with bleeds. It's females that's cool with Applebee's. You gotta lower your standard a little bit. You know what I mean?
Applebee's, the nosebleed seats of eating.
The nosebleeds of restaurants.
Yeah, the nosebleeds of restaurants.
Applebee's. Oh man, I agree with you though, but damn, cut the boy some slack. This has been High IQ Basketball with Brian Isley and Raymond Byrd. Y'all got to tune in next week because we got a very special guest coming. We'll catch y'all next week. Later. If you're going to a baby shower and you need a gift, I have the perfect solution for you. Go to Honeybee Cakes on Macari. Honeybee Cakes specializes in affordable diaper cakes. They make the perfect gift for the new addition to the fam. Search Honeybee Cakes on Macari today. Hey everybody, this is Brian Isley, comedian extraordinaire, asking you guys to download Logo, the Isley album, and Uno, the One Take album. I have 3 albums. They're all on Spotify. They're all on iTunes. They're all on Tidal. Streaming well right now, but I need more support. I need you guys to go and download these albums, man. Download Logo, Laugh or Get Offended. Download the Isley album and download Uno, the One Take album. And they are available where you stream all your music. They're hilarious because I made them. So download these albums today and get your laugh on.
How you doing? This is Neil Wood from the Cult of Us podcast, speaking on behalf of Drop 10 Media Network, the network you're currently listening to. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. You can go to drop10.com to check them all out. Make sure to like, subscribe on everything that you see Drop 10 on. We appreciate it. Go to drop10.com now.
I'ma have to tie my Nikes for this one. I'ma go for like a quadruple double. We playing the game to win, and greatness come from within. The only time you lose if you only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down, so now shoot it. If fortune favors the bold, that's why I keep on just winning. If timing is just the essence, then I'ma keep on just spending. I'm worth a couple of bucks, shout out to Antetokounmpo. Dropping in b-ball facts that's seeping into your glucose. Advising like Tony Kukoc, we getting into it mucho. Directing all these plays like my name was Tony Russo. Ballin', that's how we do, so I'm going in for the win. Penetrate the lane like we way back in 2010. I'm stomping straight in my Timbs. The basics just like I'm Tim. I'm dunking on you haters. A poster is where you live. It's magic all in my wrist. That Curry, we going swish. It's showtime like the 80s. Basketball is where we live. I'm highly gifted and skilled. I'm going in for the kill. The game is on the line. Raymond Byrd, hey, yo, what's the deal? Pass it to Brian Isley. I bet he probably surprised me. High IQ basketball is the show and it's not a hobby. We playing the game to win, and greatness come from within. The only time you lose if you only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down, so now shoot it. We playing the game to win, and greatness come from within. The only time you lose if you only never begin. Gotta be like the shoes and just do it. The clock is winding down.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.